So let me try this puzzle streak. So bishop e3. Okay, is there a mate? Oh no, but there's a deflection. No, but is it enough to win? It's just equal material, so takes on d1, takes. Maybe that's it. Yeah. Next. So first we calculate queen takes g1, of course. Bishop takes g1, bishop takes g1, king takes g1, bishop rook d3. And if bishop b4, rook d8, bishop e2. So maybe c5 takes. Yeah. So let's take, and then rook d3. I think he should have included like bishop b4 and then c5. That's quite an important line. Okay, so here what's going on? Material, we're down a knight. Let's say rook knight c7, queen f6. I mean knight c7, king f7, queen e6 is mate, I believe. Oh, okay. Luckily, because it's actually pinned. Oops. But somehow, just queen f2. Okay. We got away with that. So queen f2 and then queen h2, queen f2 probably. Rook h1 is mate probably. Okay, so knight f6. So here 97 maybe. Yeah, 97. The same idea. Deflect. I mean discovery and then win the piece. So mate in 2. Rook d7 here. Oh, there's a fork. Okay, here what's going on? Queen e4. Huh. Let's see. h5, let's say h5. If h5, if wait, h5 is mate. Am I wrong? h5 is just mate. Okay, first I consider h7. h7, let's say. h7, rook g1, king, rook g1, rook d1. Takes, take. Fully h7, yeah. Rook d1. Rook h8, king f7, knight e5 is mate. Oh, that's actually quite nice. Queen. Okay, rook d2, king e1, queen g. Rook d2, king e1, queen e3 is mate. So rook d2, king g1, and then queen h2 is mate. Okay. Queen e3. So queen f7, king h8, queen g7. Actually, bishop g7 was also mate. That's actually nicer. Okay, queen g1, queen b1, king g7, a2, king g2, a2, d7, G8 queen, D1, sorry, A1 queen, D8 queen, queen H1, king H. Oh, am I over complicating? Okay, so queen A1, no, queen B1, king G2, A2, D7. And then after, wait, queen B1, king G2, A2, D7, there's queen B7 check. King H3 will take on D7 check. Okay, so queen A3, then. Okay, we have to be careful. Oh no, we don't have to be careful. Queen, because if queen F7, there's queen G7. So here rook A7, why not? Rook A7. A4, deflection. Yep. And then we win the rook. So here 97, 92, bishop E2. No, 93 wins the queen. Yeah. Okay. So let's say rook H1, king G2, and queen F3. Yep. Done. So knight F3, there's rook F3. So let's say knight F2. Not knight F2, knight H3 and then knight F2. Knight H3, but there's king H2. No, but knight H3 win the. Wait, knight H3, king H2, rook F1, king takes H3. Or maybe G takes H3. Oh no, it's still mate. If G H3, queen G1 is mate. If king H3, rook H1 is mate. So okay. So here rook C1, queen F2, king H1, queen F3. Does it win? I'm not sure. Rook C1, queen F7. No, queen F7 doesn't work. So rook C1, rook C1. Rook C1. Yeah, okay, then we win because the queen on B3 is also hanging. First take on F1 intermezzo. Knight B5. So let's say queen B6. Does it win? Queen B6. Knight D4. Take on D4. Bishop E3. Knight F3. Oh no. Calculate again. Queen B6. Knight D4. And then queen D4. Okay. Okay. So queen takes queen, knight takes queen is not really good. So let's say bishop E3. Queen E5. Queen, okay. Bishop E3, queen F5, queen E5, queen F7. Or this, we also wouldn't mind at all. So if C5 seems to win. If bishop A6, we just take the free piece, would be terrible because queen E1 will be mate. So just queen A6. Okay, I should have thought of bishop A6 before I played C5, but okay. Okay, rook G1 and then deflection. Yep. It's not a deflection, it's like a removing a defender. Yeah, I should be accurate. Okay, so first things come to mind is the rook on a6 seems a bit weird, but maybe that's not so relevant. So like knight c5 is not possible because knight takes d7, so we first take on e5, knight e5, and then knight c5. So, and there are no checks. So yeah. So queen b4. We just take and then take on e7. Is this? Oh, okay, this is a bit funny. Let's say take. Okay, first let's calculate fe6. So fe6, rook c5, takes, king d6. Rook c1, e7. How does it not win? Okay, but then like there may be some checks. Okay, I understand. So let's say trade and then rook e6. I mean trade and then fe6. King f8. No, doesn't seem to be right. Trade, fe6, king f8. But it should win. Like with two passed pawns, we should win, yeah. So yeah, I think it's correct. How would it? I don't think there's a just fe6, yeah. So rook d8, bishop f8. Okay, rook d8, bishop f8, rook takes f8, king takes f8, rook h8. The almighty pawn. Okay, so probably some mating ideas again. Knight f6 is very tempting. And it should be correct. Knight f6 seems correct. Knight f6, let's say rook h4. Then rook g8 is made. So knight f6. Nope, no defense. Okay, king c1. What's the point? King c1. Rook g8. So rook d2. Huh. Interesting. So like this is a bit funny. I have no idea. What's the idea here? The queen is on f6. Rook d2, queen c3, rook d8. Doesn't do anything. Rook a2, rook a2. Oh wow, rook a2, rook a2, rook d1, and there's no defense against mate. Wow, this is quite spectacular. Rook a2, rook a2, rook d1. Silent move. Okay, so let's say king g1. King g1, nothing can block, so queen h8, king h8. King g8, rook h8. So this, and then what's going on here? So some mating nets, I feel. Like bishop d7, it's mate. Oh, castle. Bishop h7. Like the movement of castling triggers the thought of bishop h7, king h7, knight g5, and then yeah, I think it just crushes. Okay, some calculations. Let's say e6, rook d6, and then e7. There's no defense against e8. e6, rook c7 takes, bishop. Whichever you take, I will play c8 soon. So after e6, let's say fe6, then the rook will hang. If bishop e6, I'll take on e6 first. And in any case, after everything, g3 is not like, for example, e6, bishop e6, bishop e6, fe6, rook d7, king f6, and rook c7, g3. We're in time to stop the g pawn, so we're not afraid. Yeah, actually, not rook c7, maybe rook e7. So, e6, bishop e6, bishop e6, fe6, rook c7, rook f6. I don't know, a king f6. Huh. Okay, then we don't have to be afraid. We just play rook c7, and then the king cannot stop our pawn, and our rook can stop his pawn. So yeah, nice. Let's say knight d4. Oh no, the knight is pinned, sorry. So, what to do? What to do? Queen b4. It feels wrong. It feels wrong. What's missing here? Let's say, like, I was calculating queen b4, queen takes b4, knight takes b4, king d1 even. Not really something. Why don't I see it? Oh, queen c1. I completely missed the idea of queen c1. Queen c1 is the move. If queen d1, we take the bishop. And oh, but where's, yeah, we take the bishop. And if king e2, we take the rook. Yeah, take the rook. But knight c3, knight e2. Queen g2. Okay, g2. Bishop d5. Bishop d7. What's the idea behind bishop? Yeah, bishop d7. Why not? Good. So he just played ef5. What am I calculating? Mm, so queen f5. So material is equal, except the pawns. Like he's up a pawn for now. So if queen f5. But what does queen f5 do? Not much, to be honest. If we take on d1, we get two rooks for a queen. But maybe it's not enough. And if. What else? Queen g3, let's say. Rook d8, rook d8. Not really. Doesn't help. Let's say. Oh, wait. Queen d1, queen d1, rook e1, knight f5. The queen is trapped. Interesting. Yep. The queen is trapped. Rook e6. Huh. It's kind of tricky. So rook h8, king g1, and then queen a1 seems to be mate, I think. So rook d1, let's say. Rook d1. Okay. The idea is after rook d1, rook d1 check, rook takes d1. You have to first take on d1 first. The intermezzo is important. Queen e4. So let's say knight f5. I mean, not knight f6. Queen d3. What? No. Mm, rook c3 seems odd. Let's say. What to play? So knight f6. Queen f4. Knight. No, he won't play queen f4. He will play like queen d3. But the queen's placement is slightly weird. Let's say we play queen a5. For example, we play queen a5, rook c1. Bishop f5. Queen h4. I don't think this line is correct. Let me see. Queen c7, rook c1. What is the idea here? The king is weak in the center. The queen is slightly misplaced, and we can chase with tempos. So how do we use that information? Let's say rook c3, but it creates no threats. So if bishop f5 now makes no sense. f5 blunders the bishop. So queen a5, rook c1, queen a3. I mean, even if he plays rook d1, queen c3, knight d2, what is the idea? I mean, doesn't matter. But rather, I'm not sure. It's interesting. Queen c7. Bishop d5, queen d5, but knight c5. I don't think so. Knight f6, queen c2. Okay, what's the idea here? Queen a5. Let's return to this line again. Queen a5, rook c1, rook c3. Wait, rook c3, rook c3, rook c3, knight d2. But what if he plays like queen c? Okay, queen c2 is stupid. So rook c1 is the only move. Rook c3, rook c3, rook c3, knight d2, queen c1, king e2, and what? What's the point? Like, he's defending. So what is the idea? So what is the idea? There isn't. Or maybe it's just good enough, but we only want a pawn, so why is it good enough? How can it be good enough? The queen is on e4. There's something that the queen, like, it seems so weird that it's on e4. So, like, maybe it's not rook c3 after queen a5, rook c1. So let's say no. It makes no sense. So knight d2. Oh my god. Okay, let's just say. Oh, maybe that's the difference. Queen a5. Ah, I see. Queen a5, rook c1, and then bishop f5 first. Because you kick the queen away with tempo, and then you take on c3, and then takes, knight d2, queen c1 check. Oh, queen a1 check. King e2. But there, oh no, but the king defends, so what is the point? So queen c1, king e2. There's no point. What's the idea here? Is it like bishop c2 or something? But no, I think it's too fancy. No, I don't think so. Why not rook c3 immediately? Bishop e2? This is really difficult for me. I don't see it. Knight c5. No. We need to see something else. Is it a quiet move like. Oh, wait, we didn't consider bishop d5. Okay, actually, I didn't consider queen a5 and then bishop d5. So queen a5, rook c1, bishop d5. Queen h3, now we take, and then bishop d. No, but it makes no difference. Oh wait, there is a difference. We can remove the defender. So if queen a5, rook c1, bishop d5, it's the queen somewhere, and then bishop takes f3, queen f3 supposedly, and then rook c3, and queen rook c3, rook c3, king d1. This seems very good for us. King e2 or something. But if queen a5, let's say queen d3. No, queen d3 is. No. Okay, I think it's queen d5. Queen a5 and then rook c1, bishop d5, queen g4, takes, rook c3, rook c3, queen c3, king e2, and then like I don't know, rook b1 or something. Should win. Queen c2. Wow, why queen c2? I don't understand. Rook c3, yeah. But what if rook c1? Bishop d5, right? That's not bishop d5. Interesting. F5, but what's the point? Sorry, last lot. So takes knight d2, queen c1, king bishop e2, bishop c2 indeed. But then what? What is the threat anyway? I should just play h4 or something. Ah, queen d1. Okay. So bishop c2 I saw, but with the wrong idea, it's not bishop d1 check, but queen d1 mate. Okay, this is interesting. Luckily, I think I solved this with luck, but okay. I think I will lose quite soon. The first thought that comes to mind is rook d4, but there's bishop d5. The second move that comes to mind is bishop a7. After rook a7, maybe we can take on e4. Even though I'm not sure, is it enough? I don't think it's enough actually. And the third move that comes to mind is rook d4, bishop d5, and then c4, which seems awesome. But after rook d4, there's also like knight c3. Okay, I think it wins, yeah? I think it wins. Rook d4. Will we get trapped? No, we won't. Rook d4. c4. So, queen. Wow, okay, this is wild. It's probably some mating ideas. Queen 8. Okay, we need to calculate. So, queen b2, king e3, queen c3, king f4, queen d2, bishop e3. So, no. So, queen a2, king e3, knight g. Okay, knight g2 is interesting. So queen b2. Okay, queen b2 if king e3, knight g2, king f4, queen d2, king e5, queen e2, king f6, and then yeah, and then we win. You cannot step on the f file. So what else? So if queen b2, king e3, knight g2, king f3, queen c3, bishop e. No. So let's say e3. No, but if you step on the f file, then. Oh no, where else we know? Oh no. So king f3, queen c3, e3. What to do? Don't understand. So maybe it's not the line. So queen b2, king e3, knight g2. So maybe queen c3 first. But then we blundered the knight. So knight g2, king e2, king f3. What to do? What to do? What to do? What to do? Queen c3, e3, as we said. Why is this so difficult? Queen a2. No, it doesn't change if it's on a2 or b2. No, queen b2, king e3, queen e2. How did I miss this move? King f2. Or king f4 and then queen f2. And then win the queen. Okay. But does it matter if we go to a2 or b2? Does it matter? Because I think it matters. Let's say, but I mean, queen b2 is more natural anyway. But queen a2, king c1, queen knight e2. Yeah, I feel like it matters, but I don't want to calculate because queen b2 seems to just win anyway. Let's queen b2, king e1, queen e2, king c1, knight c3. I mean, knight. Sorry, what was this? We're black. d3. What? King b2, queen b2 mate. Okay, whatever. Oh. Ah! I want to go back to the previous one. Whatever. I think queen e2 also wins. Like queen a2, king c1, then king d1. I don't know. Probably wins as well. But actually, we don't need queen e1. So here, queen h6 to will just win the rook or something. Queen h6, yeah. Feels like correct. Oh no, but we're down in material a whole lot. So maybe we need something more. But I don't think we can afford. Like, I don't think so. Queen h6. I mean, taking this is already quite good. I don't see how. I mean, otherwise you don't have much. So just queen. So okay, another complex attacking stuff. Let's say bishop g. Oh, why? Why? All right. So bishop g7, and then bishop g7, rook g7, king g7, rook g1, king f8. Oh, this is awful. Well, let's consider again. Oh, so many ideas. Okay, let's say rook g7, rook g7. But king h8. So rook g7, bishop g7. Yeah, okay, rook g7. Yeah, but also doesn't win on the spot. So let's say what? How do I know? Bishop g7, bishop g7. '96 seems too wild. Hmm. No, I actually don't think so. The problem is the queen is not involved. So like bishop h7, knight h7. Nah. Again. Okay, so okay, bishop g7, bishop b7, knight h5. Let's say knight h5. Knight h5, knight takes h5, bishop h7, king takes h7, queen d3. I don't think it does anything though. But maybe we're close. What about bishop h7? King h7, knight h5. Oh wait, there's king h7 even. I say it myself. Oh, but king h7, there's knight g6. Okay, this is complex. Calculate again. Bishop h7, knight takes h7, then knight h5. I don't like bishop takes g7, bishop takes g7, and knight h5. But bishop takes h7, king takes h7. There's queen d3, and then king g6. I mean king h6, but it feels wrong. I mean wrong for him, because why is this so difficult? So it's not enough. We need something more. We need to play. So let's say rook g7, bishop g7, rook to g1. Let's say he just plays rook a7, rook takes g7. No, actually, after rook g7, bishop g7, rook g1, I'm threatening bishop g7. So let's say f6. No, f6 is not possible. No, it's on f6. So let's say knight d7, bishop g7, f6, win the queen. So what is the idea here? Queen e7, but yeah, okay. Let's say the queen moves to c8. So rook g7, bishop g7, rook g1, queen c8, bishop g7. Let's say I don't know. Let's say f6. No, f6 is not possible. So let's say 97. Let's say 97. So then we play bishop f6. Check. Bishop h6 check maybe. And then king h8, forced. No, but maybe there's a This is really complex. I don't know. Rook h8. I mean king h8. Hmm, not really though. Rook g7, bishop g7, rook g1. Let's say king f8. Okay, we didn't even consider this. Let's say king f8. Bishop takes f8, king e7. But okay, there's like bishop f6. It feels wrong. But bishop h6, queen, bishop g7, bishop g7, rook g7, king g7 doesn't. Oh wait, bishop g7, bishop g7, rook g7, king g7, knight h5. But you can just play king h8. Ah no, no. Bishop g7, bishop g7, rook g7, king g7, knight h5. If knight is h5, wait, where's the king? Yeah, knight h5, knight h5, and then there's queen rook g1 first, and then after king h8, play queen h6. Wait, am I right? Let's say king h8. Wait, how many rooks have I sacrificed? Knight h5, king 8. Yeah, okay. So basically, the forcing line is after rook g7, king g7. So knight h5 is first. There are three options. Either you go to h6 or to f8 or to h8. I mean g8 also, but okay. Let's say if you go to h6 is not possible, so f8, g8, or h8. If you go to h8, then queen h6, threatening queen h7 mate. And if you go, what can you go? But then, yeah. No. We already played rook g1, so queen g7 will be made, right? So let's repeat the line. First now, bishop g7, rook g7, king g7, and knight h5. After knight h5, there are three options: king f8, h8, or g8. If he goes king to h8, there's queen h6, threatening both g7 and h7 mate, and it's unstoppable, because knight f6 can only defend the h7 mate but not the g7 mate. But if he okay, then after rook takes g7, king takes g7, rook g1 check. Well, actually, g8 is not even possible. I'm sorry. So f8. So king to f8. Now we have to calculate whether or not queen h6 is a win. So queen h6, king e7, rook e1 check. But maybe it's not enough. Like king d7, maybe it's not enough. So we should think again. King f8. No, where's my knight h5? No, but I checked with knight h5, not rook g1. Okay, now I'm really nuts. The line is actually. Why don't we check? Okay, I'm really so mad now. So after bishop takes, rook takes, king takes, if knight h5, this would win, or would it? Okay, but there's still queen f. Okay, no. But let's say after knight h5, knight h5, knight takes h5, queen h6, knight f6, but there is no mate on g7. I feel like it's close. Maybe knight h5 now, but let's say g6 and not sure. So bishop g7, knight h5 now. Actually, it makes sense. Bishop g7, and then knight h5 immediately. And then if knight takes h5, we have queen h6. And that would be GG. But if he doesn't do anything, then rook g7. So let's say he plays, I don't know, knight g4 maybe. Rook g4 and the same threats apply. Seems correct. But okay, let's say bishop g7, knight h5. Just king h8, let's say. What's a play then? So we would play. Yeah, it's not so easy. Like bishop g7, knight h5, just king h8, rook g. Yeah, rook g6, rook g7, rook g8, and then it's probably a win. I mean, I hope. But how? Bishop g7, knight h5, king h8, rook g7, rook g8, knight f6, rook g7. No. King h8, rook g7, rook g8. Maybe just rook g1. Okay, I think it's correct. I think it's correct. I think it's correct. Let's see. Oh, it's not. Maybe rook g7. Okay, but let's see. Let's examine this line. We said bishop g6, bishop g7, and rook g1. What's the idea? Rook g1. Okay, yeah, but why is it very late? Let's say rook a7, bishop g7. Ah, no. We said like king f8, and then bishop g7, king e7. Bishop f6? Why? Knight h5. So you have to see that this wins. No wonder I didn't see it. Too bad. Queen d6. Queen d6, rook e1 maybe. Yeah. So, okay. Okay, let's examine why this line doesn't work. If bishop g7, knight h5, knight takes h5, queen h6, queen f6. Oh, I missed the simplest move ever. Bishop h7. Nah, doesn't work. The bishop's too strong on g7. Alright, never mind. It's fine. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Alright, let's try this again next time.